Hey guys, Luna here, and welcome back to Friendsim 2. Last we left off, at least in this save file, we managed to finish Act 2, or Volume 2 for Revolution. So let's just get right into it. Volume 3, Lest the Test Become of Us, continues to the next volume. So this particular volume contains content warnings for depiction and discussion of state institutionalized violence, depiction and discussion of death, depiction of blood, being stalked/hunted, and has action sequences for me. Obviously, player discretion is advised, so please do be warned. This volume and several others uses action sequences which might not function on low-end machines, less than 8 GB of RAM, 2 processor cores, integrating video cards. Would you like to skip this interactive portion of these sequences? You can also do this if you find these sequences unresponsive or overly challenging. This option can be turned off and on from the options menu at any time. Do you want to skip performance-intensive action sequence? Now let me play them. This is a high-end computer. The trip down from the Institutia to Naternia is a bumpy one, and you're starting to feel more than a little bit sick to your stomach, but it's also giving you a chance to be alone with your thoughts for the first time in a while now. It's not that it doesn't make sense that it's not that it doesn't make sense that things would have changed in the past few years. It's just that you weren't ready for the ways that things have changed. You weren't ready to see how much your friends are really hurting, for the realization that they're all condemned to an inescapable fate before, and now that fate has come to pass. You don't like thinking like this, but you're having a hard time remaining optimistic. After what's happened on Institutia, after the way that you're forced to confront the reality of the system on a scale that you couldn't even imagine. Right now, you're ready to settle in and figure out what's happening down on Eternia. So some of your friends will still be around. You figure you can find the Jade Cabins easily enough, and then you go from there. It's not a good plan, you'll admit, but it's all you got. You're worried that you might have just signed the death warrant of 2 of your friends. You're as much a fan of smashing the system as anyone. Definitely one of your top 10 things you'd like to do, but it's such a long road in front of them. You're thinking that it would have been a natural progression to try and talk to Daria. If Tizrus and Stella are coming to be revolutionaries, then they're going to need comrades in arms, and you aren't about to just randomly start asking strangers if they want to destroy the Empire. Well, you kind of did do that before, but you're a changed, friend-shaped entity. No more randomly soliciting folks to do a rebellion without checking to see if they're down first. Flashing light, it should only be about a minute or 2 if you want to skip ahead. The far news is that you don't have to keep worrying about the far-reaching consequences of your actions for much longer. The bad news is that it's become the collision proximity alert is going on.
Collision alert.
You struggle to find some other way to control the pod.
Collision alert.
It doesn't really seem like this
Collision alert.
thing was designed for manual flights, which seems like a serious oversight in
Collision
retrospect.
alert.
You'll need to speak to the manufacturer if you
Collision
get out of
alert.
this alive. Well, it looks like you're going to be hitting Eternia a little bit earlier than
alert.
expected. Hitting in this case being more or less. Well, at least you aren't dead. So what was I saying before? At least hitting and being in this case being a little more or less little expression. Really hope that the escape pod is designed to actually protect its occupants. The last thing you need right now is some kind of ironic Eternian death tech, and then at least you aren't dead. The world swims in front of you, coming in and out of focus. All around you, the escape pod view screens blare and incoherent static are at you, and your head is throbbing with pain where it collided with the side of your seats. You'll say this much about the quality of Imperial tech. The hatch on the escape pod only came off a little bit when you landed on the planet. And you're alive, which wins this experience an extra star in Grelp, or whatever the equivalent vaguely referral analog to human experiences. It doesn't seem like anything on you is broken or misplaced, and you're only bleeding a little bit, but it would probably be a good idea to try and get out of the escape pod before it catches on fire or something. Struggling against the safety restraints, you manage to pull yourself free and locate the emergency release for the door. You pull the lever down, and the door blasts off its hinges and lands nearby. Immediately, light streams into the escape pod, flooding the dim interior. Okay, well, you're definitely on Eternia. That's good, at least. For a second, you were worried that you were going to land on some kind of weird spaceship or something. The bad news is that you already see the dawn's light, and it won't be much long before the light of the Tyrian sun gets to be too much for your sensitive, non-rainbow drinking skin. Your hoodie might be fashionable and smell faintly of sandalwood, but it's not even close to enough to keep you safe for when the sunlight hits in full effect. With a groan, you pull yourself up and out of the hatch, landing softly on the ground. A wide swatch of freshly turned dirt traces out from where your pod landed, and you figure you'll just kind of start walking that direction and see what happens. Okay, this is interesting. For some reasons, things look different. Not sure exactly how to put it into words, but everything just has a strangely symbolic vibe to it now. Hey you, yeah, you're the person playing the game. I know this probably isn't what you expected from a Ren Pie game, but it's pretty intuitive. You could still use your mouse and point and click your way around. You could use the arrow keys too, if you got any questions, there's a help section which you can check out. You blink. You must have spaced out there for a second. Haha, because of the space. You can't keep wasting time like this. Daylight's coming. So not far away, you can see some series of low walls made of some kind of pinkish stone. You could probably use those as shelter from the sunlight in a pinch. Good to know. It's still not clear exactly where on Eternia are exactly. Not that you're an expert, but you did spend a few months here. Also, you're pretty sure you set the escape pod coordinates correctly. By lights, you should have landed within walking distance of the Jade Caverns, but this doesn't look right at all. For one thing, you don't remember it being so barren. It almost resembles the area around Skylar's Ranch, but something is subtly off about it. You're really sweating now, but the sun is starting to break full over the horizon. You need to find the shelter quickly before you end up frying. Wait a minute. Quick time events, possible blood. Something feels wrong. Move. You feel something pass inches from your head and stumble back and fall over into the dusty ground. You realize several important key details all at once. 1. You aren't dead. 2. You're closing your eyes so tightly it hurts. 3. Someone's shooting at you, and you're not sure where, but someone is definitely shooting at you. From the sounds of the gunfire, it seems like the sniper is somewhere down toward that large, ominous-looking series of buildings at the distance. You really don't remember any of this from the last time you were on Eternia. Oh, you feel a quick punch in your chest for a half a second before the sound of the gunshot reaches your ears. Do you read something about when it's about the speed of sound? Oh no, whatever shall I do? Council will see you now. What's going on? You don't remember, do you? You're not sure what she's talking about, but there's a strange, prickling sensation in the back of your mind. You feel like you've been here before, like you had the same basic conversation. That's because you have. Several times, as a matter of fact. Then why can't you remember? What's the point of all of this? What's the point of the journey that you're on if you're just going to loop back again and again anyways, even though you don't even get to control it? Your mind races, and there's hundreds of things flashing in front of you all at once. What happened to my friends? It's not just your individual problems, it's not anyone's individual problems. Eternia, the Emperor, all of it. It's a system. Your friends are caught up in that, and no amount of friendship or kindness will change that. Of course, that's why you're going to help them fight that system. I admire your courage, but nothing is guaranteed. The system is bigger than you, especially now that you're just a normal person again. Normal-ish, I guess? Scratch was right about something. You exist in one branch of many on the river of time, but he was very wrong about the implications of it. If you remember just one thing, let it be this. You always have a choice right up until the moment you make it. Yeah, so this is same conversations. Obviously, I still have to move forward. So, blah, 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 blah. Move. Blah, 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 blah. And then they're shooting at you, but this doesn't seem familiar. Move again. crap. This is really subtly. In the bad things category, not only are things being shot at, but the sun is just about to point where it's going to start hurting. Your spot behind the stone wall provides a little bit of shelter and cover, but it's not going to last very long. Either you're going to have to fry out in the sun, or they're going to get an angle on you, shoot you. Neither of those is a great outcome. Move. Okay, crap. You can see a series of walls leading toward the base in the distance, and then it looks like the terrain gets rough and rocky. You think maybe there's a chance that if you can make it to a little bit further down, there might actually be somewhere you can hide that you won't die. Another action sequence. And if you're really being honest with yourself, not dying is basically the only thing on your mind right now. You can't stay in one place for too long. If you do that, the sniper will get you for sure. But if you stay too long in the sunlight, you're gonna fry. Basically sucks all around. So stop for a second to try and catch your breath. You really wish you'd taken Cell up on more of those workout offers. The cardio really would have come in handy right now. It's really getting out of hand. Good news, you can see some kind of a cave ahead. You can just get up there alive. Stop for a second to try and catch your breath again. There's something up ahead, maybe another 50 yards down. You just need to, survive to make it. No big deal, it's fine. The maw of the cave yawns right in front of you. The promise is a safe haven. Just have to make it a few more feet. Rush up to the mouth of the cave and dash forward, taking the last few feet in the air as you dive straight in. The sounds of the sniper's bullets hitting the ground next to you barely registers as you tumble headlong down the rocky slope of the cave. After a series of painful tumbles, you wind up lying on the floor of the dark cave. Well, this kinda sucks, but then again, you're not gonna lie, this is pretty on brand as far as things have been going on lately. At least down here, you're safe from Eternian sunlight and the sniper fire. Right now, that's all about the best you can hope for. So you settled in to wait for nightfall and hope that things will improve once the sun goes down.
I'm telling you, ain't a thing out here.
Trixie says, my single's now number 5 in the charts on Spotify. Spotify's sexy a word. Maybe some of us didn't want to be military commanders when we grew up. I miss Fox's mom so much. Hope she's doing okay out there on her own. Alien Invasion of One is a really good friend. Really good friends. The fire roars larger with every second day. This is Sound of the Future. You ever tell someone? You ever like someone and just know how to tell them? Wish I could have done a collab with Trixie, but it ain't in the cards. Zebra, hey, selling uppers, maybe pay your tab. Wouldn't want the Legis Corpus to catch wind of where you're at, alright? Love the dynamic between Beck Rogers and Specialist Siren and Gorf Coates. Those three would make a heck of a quadrant triangle.
Well then, you can shut the fuck up. We'll finish looking around and then we can go back in. I swear you like to bitch so much, I just want to shut your mouth.
I'll bet you do.
You've even noticed that when you fell asleep, it turns out that suffering from intense constant trauma left you more than a little bit exhausted. The good news is it's dark outside, and you'll recognize the voices you can hear outside the cave. Stelly and Konya will be able to help you out. They might have been a little annoyed the last time, but at least Skyla seemed worried about you. Just pop on out, figure out where on Eternia you are, and then figure out how to get out to the Jade Cavern from there. Oh heck, something tells you that you're not on Eternia.
What in the Empress's name is wrong with you coming back here like this? I thought I was clear that it's not safe for you to be here.
Oh hey, it's Skyla. You wave cheerfully, although the response is somewhat frosty glare. Don't worry about it. You're not even on the kill list anymore.
You absolute idiot! Do you have any idea where you are?
You shake your head. You kind of thought that you were back on Eternia, but it seems like maybe something went wrong. You appear to be on some kind of moon, maybe? Honestly, it's pretty similar to Eternia.
You're on an Alternian army training satellite.
Hey, what now? Skyla sighs and rolls her eyes.
It's like a big fake moon designed to simulate combat conditions found on the frontier worlds.
You're next to an active army base, you dumbass. Do you know what they'll do when they find you?
She laughs and you shrug. You're not really sure, honestly. All of a sudden, Konya's face softens.
I'm sorry about them shooting at you. It happens sometimes.
Oh, yeah. If you had an Imperial Kiger for every time someone shot at you, there's probably at least 10 Imperial Kigers.
That's not a lot at all. That analogy sucks.
Okay, but none of that stuff is important. What is important is that you know how to get them away from this place. Well, maybe not exactly right this second, but you know how to have a general plan for getting everyone back to somewhere safe.
Yeah, well, what if some of us don't want to be safe? You ever stop to consider how we really feel?
Stop it, Connell. You're being a bulge eater.
You fucking wish.
Okay, this pitch dynamic between the two of them is super great and not at all uncomfortable in the slightest, but aren't they interested in hearing more about your awesome plan?
You're not gonna leave, are you?
No. Plus, even if you wanted to, which you don't think you physically could. Skyla sighs heavily and shakes her head.
Fine. We're going back to the barracks. If you want to come, go for it.
Just keep your head down. Anyone gets suspicious, you're gonna look stupid. Also, you'll get shot.
Oh, yeah, that sounds like probably a good plan.
We're heading back now. Don't fall behind.
Wait a second. Okay, so that's the thing, that's the help. Okay, so that's options, that's exit, that's save, okay. Yeah, you're pretty sure you don't want to be out here by yourself.
Why'd you actually come back anyway?
You already explained this to her. You want to help your friends.
What makes you think we need help?
Is she kidding? Look at this place.
Whatever. Doesn't matter.
As you're walking, Skylar pulls you off to the side quickly. She looks around to check sure to make sure no one's close enough to hear what she's about to say.
Look, I know she's being a bitch right now, but there's a reason for it.
Was she being a bitch? You had to notice.
Sure. In a way, she's just been upset lately because of her Lucis. They took her away to start training her for military operations.
Wait, what? Why would they do that?
Because Connell's Lucis is really good at the kind of shit they need. Is that enough of a reason?
Well, sure, but also has she considered burning this crap to the ground? Skylar eyes you carefully, scanning up and down.
I feel like you're getting ahead of yourself. Besides, Connell doesn't want anything to do with that. Let's go.
After walking for what feels like an absurdly long time, you finally make your way inside the perimeter of the army base. Sure enough, the other trolls just kind of ignore you. You're guessing they've seen stranger things. You're a little worried that someone might see the cerulean symbol on your chest and have additional questions, so you're trying your best to stay
Okay, you fucks. We're here. By the way, I heard what you said about my Lucis. Maybe try minding your own business instead of worrying about mine.
Kyler stalks off toward the low building nearby, and you pretty much, and you assume it's some kind of barracks. Well, now you finally get, but you're feeling pretty embarrassed.
Come on, let's go.
Yet, Skylar starts to walk toward the barracks when you stop her. Oh, wait a minute. Konya seems pretty annoyed with you, and you're not sure it'll be wise to disturb
I'm
her.
going in to set my ass down after being on day shift. You want to stay out here until one of the drones finds you? Be my guest.
Oh, crap. Yeah, drones. Your mind flashes back to the low, heavy sound from when you first ran into Skylar and Konya during your whirlwind tour of Eternia. Maybe you don't actually want to wait to find out what that was. Inside the building, you realize that you've been here before when you first saw Skylar and Konya when you came back to Eternia. A series of bunks line the room, and it doesn't escape your notice that these are bunks and not replicants.
Yeah, you think we rate recupercoons here in the army? You're out of your mind.
Konya acknowledges the two of you with an angry nod.
So you didn't learn how to leave people alone?
Look, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have been talking about your Lucis. I just wanted them to understand where you're coming from.
Well, I'm doing fucking fine. That's where I'm coming from, okay?
It seemed like might be charitably described as a complete lie. Without another word, Konya huffs and turns to walk out of the barracks.
I don't need to be here. I'm going out for a walk.
She makes sure to slam the door on the way out. Oh, crap. Actually going to quickly check which option I did in my other playthrough so we get a little bit of variety. Just because variety is good, so... let's see here. So wait a second. So blah 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 blah. Mute this. And let's see here. Times 2 speed. Yeah, so last time I stayed in the Salvation Route, I stayed and talked with Skyla, so I'm gonna go after her. You step out of the barracks almost immediately, but Konya's already halfway gone around the corner of the building. Quickly you rush after her, cursing with the fact that you were born with narratively conjured being, with such stubby little legs. Fortunately, your powerful calf muscles more than make up for this fact, and you quickly catch up to her. She's standing in some kind of central square that you can seem to be right in the middle of the compound. In the distance, you can see formations of soldiers marching in neat rows, as well as being assorted other trolls walking around in the more haphazard way. Konya is leaning against a small shed of some kind, scowling to herself and pointedly ignoring you. Fortunately, you're very good at making yourself obnoxiously visible when you want. You stand close to Konya and rock back and forth with your big grin on your face. This has the effect of making her look even more annoyed, but also...
Okay, what the hell do you want? You're just standing there like a stupid moo beast. Can I help you?
Why, as a matter of fact, she can. You just want to make sure that she's doing okay. She seemed pretty annoyed before.
Why would I be annoyed? I just wanted some fresh air. Why would I care if a bunch of jerks talk about my mom behind my back?
Well, now, you weren't really talking about her mom so much as the topic came up in the natural course of conversation. Okay, yeah, look, she's giving you a look like she probably stopped saying this sentence.
Not as stupid as you look, huh? Anyway, you leave my mom out of this.
You know, you don't think you ever actually met Konya's Ulysses before. You're having a hard time imagining what kind of suitably vicious creature it'd be. A few creatures come to mind: lion, tiger, bear...
Oh my god! You just never stop talking, do you? My mom's the best is all there is to it. She taught me everything I know about everything I do.
Well, that's really nice, but also this is kind of a tangential and purely hypothetical and not all appropriate thing to mention. You didn't think that Luskai came with trolls after they went through Ascension. In fact, Konya seems to be the first one you heard mentioned. She's quiet for a while, but her face is softened, and you see something that there is that you haven't seen in a while.
You really want to know? Fine.
Without another word, she turns and begins to walk. You don't know what the deal is, but you follow close behind her. Konya leads you down and past an airfield with rows and rows of dark gray ships lined up. These are small, maybe able to hold 2 or 3 people at most. They have a sleek and menacing look to them. You want to ask Konya about the ships, but she's already walking along toward a small building in the far end of the airfield.
Let me do the talking, okay?
Okay, but where are you?
This is where all the Luci live. The ones who the army recruits.
The way that she says the word recruits feels all like there's something about it that she doesn't quite believe. Inside the building reminds you of some kind of highly secure animal hospital. The front of the building has a desk occupied by a bored-looking olive blood sitting there and reading. Toward the back, you can just make out some kind of holding area. You think you can see flashes of white as Lusai move around in the back, but you're not sure. The olive blood looks up, sees Konya, and looks back at the book that he was reading with a shrug. Konya looks down at you and smiles.
This is where my mom gets to live. Isn't it great? They take really good care of her, and I get to see her...
She trails off in front.
Not much lately, but it's okay. She's been busy.
Busy with what? You didn't realize that Leslie had obligations outside of raising wrigglers and keeping them safe until they were old enough to be on their own.
Training? She's gonna be a soldier like me. We're gonna work together.
That sounds pretty interesting. Oh, that's a new one to you. Never heard of Leslie being soldiers. Then again, you never heard of most things here, so...
All I need to do is pass qualification and we'll be fighting side by side. I never get to see Daja anymore, so... it'll be nice.
Her voice drops at the end of her face, faltering, but she quickly regains composure and grins at you again.
Pretty fucking awesome, right?
Oh yeah, definitely the best, most awesome thing you've ever seen. From the desk, the olive blood clears his throat and looks up at Konya. He's obviously uncomfortable. You can distinctly make out the phrase, "Can't see you right now."
You've gotta be fucking with me. Why?
From behind the desk, the olive blood shrugs again, turning back to his book without another word. Growling with anger, Konya turns to leave.
Well, fucking fine then. Wait till I'm a fucking sergeant. I'll have you scrubbing loose shit for a parachute.
She turns around, barges away past you on the way out. You end up standing there feeling pretty stupid. You walk back to the airfield, but it seems like Konya's already ahead of you. Damn these shapely but still quite short legs of yours. You don't see Konya here either. There's a lot of trolls walking around out everywhere, but none of them are particularly massive, shouty olive bloods you're looking for. There's no sign of Konya all the way back at the barracks. You don't know if she came back here or what, but your best bet right now would probably find Skyla. Cautiously, you push open the door into the barracks, and you're pleasantly surprised to see that no one's currently being attacked by anyone. Instead, Konya is sitting on the bed next to Skyla, grumbling to herself and balling up her fists.
It isn't fair. You wouldn't even tell me why I can't see her.
Okay, well, maybe they're doing some kind of special training or something? You ain't past qualification yet.
I know that. That doesn't make it suck less.
You walk up casually to the two of them and wave in an equally casual way. Just very casual. All around.
This one knows what I'm talking about. Wasn't that bullshit?
You have to admit that as far as things go, that one was definitely on the more crap end of the spectrum. That guy wouldn't even let her see her mom.
Yeah, see?
You can always go back later. It's not like you're never gonna see her again.
Konya huffs this time, but she doesn't say anything. Finally, she nods and looks at Skyla over to you.
Okay, fine. I can wait. She's probably just gonna get some food and they'll take her out for training. I see them on the parade ground sometimes.
A smile spreads over her face, and you'll be damned if it isn't the most heartwarming thing to come out of the generally soul-crushing experience that has been on the Turian PR system, and in the last few days, it's almost enough to make you forget, everything else. Your time to reflect on this is cut somewhat short, however, because the door to the barracks bangs open, revealing a panicked bronze bug who mounts something that looks a lot like the word inspection before hastily running to their bunker to straighten their things out.
Fuck.
Fuck?
You need to get out.
Yeah, she said that before, but she's already...
You need to get out of the barracks. There's a commander coming through, or something. You get found here, you're fucking dead.
What are you supposed
Don't care, go out the back.
Yeah, you should probably go now. Yeah, you know what? There's something about this whole situation that feels really not great. Without another word, you quickly rush toward the back entrance of the barracks. Behind you, you can hear the flurry of activity of the bronze and all the bloods rush to store their equipment and fix their bugs. You quickly slip out the back door and lean against the side of the building. Inside, you can hear a bang of the barracks door slamming opens. The next thing you hear makes no sense. Familiar voice. Atrada?
Officer on deck.
You have to hear this overwhelming urge to run back into the barracks. You know this person. You can reason with her. Maybe explain the situation with Konya's mom. Maybe even talk to her about getting out of the space and getting down to Eternia. But something inside you tells you that this isn't the right course of action. There's something else going on. There's someone else with her. Someone you don't want to meet just yet. You shiver, and you don't know how you know any of this. Quickly, you head for the parade grounds, away from the barracks, away from the ominous sense of wrongness that keeps creeping in over everything. What was it that Skyla said to you? That they were play-acting for the real thing on Eternia? Is that something she said to you? You're getting confused, your head feels fuzzy, you don't feel so well.
Hey! Hey, you!
Hey!
Yeah, this makes perfect sense. Draw the short straw to go talk to the quartermaster? End up finding this idiot passed out in the middle of the base. Makes perfect sense to me.
Wait, is that... Marcy!
That is my name. Congratulations. You've managed to retain a functional understanding of your acquaintances.
Doesn't she mean best friends?
Don't push it. What the hell are you doing here?
Wait a second, you surprised she actually recognizes you. After all, we only spent a little bit of time together before it seemed like she was a lot more interested in making eyes at Folkia than anything else.
Of course I remember you. It's the spindly arms.
Oh, is that your really most memorable trait?
Don't be stupid. Of course not. You're a fucking alien. You honestly thought I'd just forget about that?
Oh, yeah.
Really? What are you doing here?
Currently, hiding from a surprise high blood inspection, you think? You're a little unclear from the specifics, but you feel like it would be a bad idea to hang around the Bronze and Olive Barracks.
Well, come on. I'll show you the Rust Barracks.
She motions with a hand and you follow after her, keeping close to her in case some other crazy thing happens.
You mind telling me how you even ended up here? I never could figure out what happened to you. Then, I heard something about an alien who got pulled from the cull lists a half cycle ago.
So a cycle is about a day. Well, it's kind of a long cycle. You have a lot of cool alien pals now. Well, you had a lot of very cool alien powers, but a different, much less cool alien took them away. That's the short version. You arrive at another set of barracks that is completely identical to the ones that Skyla and Konya live in, except that this one it has a bunch of Rustbloods milling around and chatting with each other, feeding. Let's forward. Anyone around Everdim? You want to watch your butts? That's just corpus stirring up again, so that's the thing, I guess. Skyla. Hey, Beckrod, you sing again? Stop counting me with this account. Whoever's running this one block. Beckrod is in Gorfrog. It's not that hard. Yeah, so there's... Oh yeah, trending in entertainment, GrabTube updates from the service to ensure the more restrictive usage requirements, forces mandatory imperial propaganda, trending in sports, Not My Pusher, High Field, Imogamy, Pusher, Zephyros, Citra, Fioles, archaeology following revelation of Morales' connection to Rebel Underground, trending in imperial careers, My Fleet Stories, finding a feature in the Arcturian fleet. Interesting. No one really seems to bat an eye when you show up. A couple of the other soldiers wave to Marcy, who returns the gesture, but they mostly just ignore you.
Yeah, folks around here are good at ignoring weird stuff. It's easier that way. So, I've got a few minutes before I need to take this gravity module controller over to my ship. You mind telling me what's going on with you?
Oh yeah, sounds really great, but actually you were kind of hoping she could tell you about her right now. Marty scrunches up her mouth and shakes her head quickly.
You're just kind of always like this, huh? Well, I'm where I'm supposed to be right now.
She looks around the barracks and smiles slightly. There's something sad in it. You mentioned that you've noticed that there's all Rustbloods here.
Oh yeah, you're very perceptive.
Thank you. Wait, she was being sarcastic, I should say.
Yeah. It's all Rustbloods, because we all get pulled for special training after our basic rotation.
She shrugs and doesn't elaborate, as if you're just supposed to know what any of this means. You reminded Marty that you're an alien who basically knows nothing about Artarian culture, much less the nuances of an Artarian military structure.
It'd be easier to just show you, actually. Come on, let's go.
Without another word, Marty stands up and leads you out of the Rustblood barracks and back to the airfield. As you're walking, you notice something you didn't notice before. A large drone rolling along on treads. So what's the deal with the drones? Marty shakes her head.
Don't worry about it. Just don't get too close, okay? They might not understand that you're not a threat.
Wow, that's extremely ominous. Before you can properly explain to Marty just how uncomfortable that particular piece of Ontario trivia makes you feel, she leads you down a row of the sleek-looking aircrafts that are parked here.
Well, this one's mine.
Wait, what?
This is my ship. I feel like I was pretty direct about that. What part is still confusing?
Well, the part where she tells the ship for
Okay, technically it's mine in that I'm responsible for it and I'm assigned to fly it. I can't just take it out for a spin.
Marty walks over and puts a hand on the side of the ship, smiling to herself. How did any of this happen? You thought she was mostly cleaning stuff up, not flying spaceships. Marty shrugs.
Yeah, that would have been great, but they have drones for cleaning. What they don't have drones for is the precision required for suborbital attack runs. So, here I am, me and the other Rustbloods.
Hooray. Your tone is almost bitter, resentful. Is it something she wants to talk about?
No, not really. It's not a long story anyway. Conscripted and taken away from anyone or anything I cared about. Sent into the attack pilot training program. Owe the Empire a lifetime of service now. Good news is that the life expectancy of a newly minted pilot specialist is only about 2 sweeps. So it won't be for much longer.
What? But that's horrible. Hasn't she ever considered running away?
Of course I have. And then what? Leave everyone behind in exchange for... what? A guided missile up the exhaust plume and then...
She makes a poof motion with her hands.
At least here, I've got people I can trust.
She means the other pilots in the crew. Like family? Marcy squints at you and you have to remind yourself that they don't really have the same concept of family in Notarian society.
I think I understand your meaning well enough.
She sighs and stops the side of the ship.
Fuck it. Let's go back to the barracks. I don't see the technician around anywhere. I'll have to wait for him to install this part, and I don't feel like standing out here.
Doesn't she ever wish she could just get away from it all, though? Get away from the Empire, away from Eternia, away from literally everything? Marty doesn't answer right away. Instead, she looks up at you up and down and narrows her eyes.
What are you saying, exactly? So I'm clear on this.
See, the thing is, you got some powers. You're getting really used to this whole pitch by now. Had powers, don't have powers, gonna get those sweet powers back any day now. So does she want to go home a hive?
Are you out of your mind? This is the closest I'm getting to being back hive these days.
Okay, but you can take her to a place where it's just better. You can take her somewhere that she doesn't have to worry about whatever horrible fate's in store for her if she keeps working for the army.
Excuse me, but what the fuck are you talking about? Why are you acting like you can make this decision for me?
Oh, see, you're not doing that, just, well...
Well, why should I trust you? You disappear for more than 2 sweeps and show up with nothing but wild claims of having some kind of magical powers. Can you see why I might be a little bit skeptical?
Okay, yeah, you do want to see your points. Marty sighs and motions for you to follow her. Back in the barracks, Marty dresses the soldiers milling around. All of them are dressed in the same rust-colored uniform that she's in.
The only reason any of this is worth it is because of these people. Maybe I can't fix things. Maybe this is a horrible position to be in, but at least I can try to keep them safe.
Crap, what she's saying sounds so familiar that you realize she's basically saying the same exact things that you do.
Then you understand why I can't go with you.
Yeah, you actually do understand. While in the process of having this intense personal revelation, one of the Rustbloods walks up to Marcy and says something in a low voice, in a voice low enough that you can't really hear it. Marcy nods and turns back to you as the Rustblood walks off.
I've got something to do really quick. If you want to come with, I guess that's fine.
Oh yeah, you're definitely coming with her. Hanging out and being generally helpful is something you love to do.
I would have gone with being annoying, but I guess we can work with that.
It takes about 10 minutes for Marcy to lead you to another building. Some kind of control tower, you think? It looms above you, imposingly tall against the environment where everything else seems to be distinctly squat and nondescript. If you had to, you'd guess that this fills basically the same role as an airport control tower back on Earth, controlling flight paths and stuff. There are, however, a series of what definitely looks like missiles positioned nearby.
Oh yeah, they're missiles.
With a fun new piece of terrifying Arterian trivia solidly in your brain, you walk up to the door and stop, turning toward Marcy. So what are we doing here?
Well, I need to relieve someone monitoring comms. You can basically do whatever.
Inside of the control tower is humming with activity, literally humming. The noise of the computers and everything is actually quite loud. All around, patrols are working, and you notice that a lot of them are wearing the same rust red that Marcy is.
Yeah, we get assigned to a lot of low-level tech stuff. Not complicated enough to rate a gold blood, I guess.
She shrugs and walks over to the empty console, sits down, and promptly begins to ignore you. Okay, you get it. You can tell when you're not wanted. You're about to turn politely excuse yourself when a piece of paper catches your eyes. It looks like someone left this here by mistake. For some reason, it seems important to pick this one specific piece of paper up. Pick up the paper. You struggle through the words. It's like they're floating in front of you and you can't quite make it out. So, Department of Atarian Military Project Guardian. For immediate release, attention all handlers involved with Project Guardian. Reprogram status. The Army Advanced Research Projects Agency has finished conducting its initial one-seat evaluation of the first batch subjects for Project Guardian. Preliminary tests were conducted on satellites 5762A, 606D, and 1111H in cooperation with attorney and army personnel. Initial findings were promising, suggesting that bonded pairs consisting of a troll handler and the lustus would be more effective than a standard soldier in the field, especially for conducting specialized work such as perimeter defense or urban pacification. However, several key flaws begin to present themselves during testing. Namely, 1. Most lusty troll pairs were unsuitable for combat conditions. Finding a combination of properly equipped partners proved to be extremely difficult. 2. Attempts to bond Lucite with neutrals were universally unsuccessful and resulted in a number of fatalities. As such, it is recommended of project advisors that the Lucis Troll Handler Troll Handler program be discontinued to focus on enhancements to the drone program. Altarian Army senior staff concur with this assessment. Effective immediately, all operations in Project Guardian are to be ceased and all biological assets are to be scheduled for immediate disposal. You clutch the paper in your hand, and the realization of what they're saying hits you all at once. This is what Konya was talking about. This is the chance she had to work with Elizabeth. This is probably why they wouldn't let her see her mom, because they're getting ready to kill her. You need to go warn Konya. Marty is occupied with listening to something on a pair of oversized headphones, and no one else seems to care what you do. You take this as your cue to slide out the door and head back to the barracks. You open the door hesitantly, part of you still worried that you're going to run into Adreta and whoever was with Adreta before. Instead, you see Skyla and Konya sitting together on the bunk, talking in low voices. And cautiously, you walk up to them and put your hand on it halfway. Hey there, you say very, very casually. What's going on?
What the hell is with you? What were you doing the last hour?
About that, you got something that Konya needs to see.
Fuck off, we're kinda busy right now.
No. Konya glares at you and begins to stand up. You quickly change tack. This is important. It really can't wait. You reach out your hand and hand her the paper you're still holding on to, the one you found in the control room. Konya scans the document quickly, and you see her eyes move from top to bottom, then back to the top and down again. She reads, her face changes, and you think she's starting to understand what she's seeing.
No, you know what? Everyone get the fuck out.
Konya shouts echoes to the barracks, and a bunch of very startled trolls quickly dash for the exits, and you hear get the feeling that they're very familiar with just how intense Konya can be. Konya grows to look at you. Is she okay?
Am I okay? Are you fucking serious right now? No, I'm not fucking okay. My mom. They're going to fucking call my mom.
Now, they might still let her go.
You wish you could believe that, but you know what you saw. It wasn't a mistake.
I'm telling you, it's not gonna be like that.
There's no way she'd actually believe this, and despite the strong pitch vibrations to get off of these two, Skyla seems to be kind of acting like Konya's morale right now. Connie is shrugging her shoulders and growls.
I know what I fucking saw. You don't believe what you're saying. You know it's a bunch of fucking lies.
Skylar doesn't say anything. Her shoulders droop and she shakes her head.
I don't know what to think about it.
Let's see. What did I say last time in this moment? So let's see here. See, last time it looks like I chose. You don't have to be like this. The bunch of murdering jerks.
You think I don't know that already? You think none of us know that?
Look, no one's gonna wanna even go through with this.
So they'll find someone who will. Stop treating me like a fucking wiggler. Someone who joined the army because of goddamn cereal vids. You goddamn grub.
Skylar frowns, but she doesn't say anything. You step outside the barracks for a second to try and get your thoughts in order. This is still a lot more to take in than you expected. You're still reeling from being shot in and all that.
You got something to say to me?
No, you're pretty sure you're only making things substantially worse somehow. Before you can properly respond, Skylar walks out of the barracks and hands on her hips.
Y'all can't just go around doing whatever the fuck you feel like.
Why not? They all do. Fucking high bloods all do. Fucking Empire does.
Because we have to be smarter than that. Because otherwise we'll end up dead.
Without warning, Konya turns and rushes Skylar. Skylar might be impressively strong and a foot taller than Konya, but the olive blood is a wall of solid muscle. She slams Skylar up against the side of the barracks, baring her teeth.
Is that what we need to do? Because all I'm hearing is, Connell, let your fucking mom die.
You know that's not what I meant by that.
Right. Just never mind.
Let's see here. I'm going to save this here, actually. And I'm going to call this here. So I hope you guys have a good day, night, week, month of your lives. And may the stars forever guide your path. Forever it might lead you into the future. Goodbye, everybody.